Welcome everyone to our KONCEPT special interview. Today we are thrilled to have a remarkable individual from the different company, Mr. Luc Gabriel.
Hello.
He is our CEO and artistic olfactory director of the French perfume house. Welcome to Vietnam, Luc. How do you feel today?
Oh, I feel great. A little bit warm outside, but that's fine.
What's your first impression when you come to Vietnam?
Well, I heard a lot about Vietnam. I heard a lot about Hanoi. So the first impression for me is to discover a whole new environment. But at the same time, it's like I've seen it already a little bit. So it's an amazing journey, actually.
Before we come on to the interview, I will have a small challenge, a small mini question for you.
Okay.
It's like a this or that question. So are you ready?
Shoot. Pastor Chef.
Pastor Chef.
Can I say both? It's a difficult question. Let's go for Pernod then. I'd say pub. A special occasion. It depends. I like both. So it really depends on the occasion and on the period of the day. I prefer woody. Grapefruit. Rose poivrée. After midnight. If you lose one, you lose the other. So none of them. Smelling good, I think. Black.
It seems like we have know some interesting things about you. The audience would like to know more about the brand and so a little bit more about you. So they are very curious about the brand's name, especially the inspiration of the different company. So could you share with us some of the inspiration and behind the name of the different company? What are the inspirations about it?
The different company is born in 2000, and the name is very simple. It is to express the fact that the fragrance we bring are different from the other fragrances you can find. And the most simple way to describe it is to say it in the most common language at the time, in 2000, which is English. So, the different company.
I have known that you worked in like your previous position, like a number-oriented, logic-oriented work, especially when you are a strategic consultant in McKinsey. So are these experiences that have you a lot in managing the different company now?
Yes, I think it helps, but at the same time, there are tons of factors you cannot manage in a perfume company. The first one is how successful a fragrance will be. There is no logic in that. But as for the rest, yes, it's certainly helpful to have that kind of background.
Like you have said, you worked in a logic-oriented jobs, but now you switched to a perfume industry. So, which means that this is a industry that really art-oriented. So why did you choose the different company to continue your career?
Well, actually, when I was a kid, my mother had a perfume store. And on the way back from school, every single day, I could smell perfume in the store. And when you used to do that every single day, it's like second nature. You don't even think about it. And then I went to different schools. As you mentioned, I worked in logical or business-oriented companies. But then I had a chance to meet with Thierry through a friend of us, and it clicked. You know, all of a sudden, all my childhood went back, and perfume was obvious for me. Mixing both this discovery of perfumes, and at the same time, when we launched the different company, niche did not exist. The concept of niche did not exist. So we were a pioneer in that business, and that's what's exciting about it.
Perfumers can also call them the artists, and each artist will have their own unique personalities. So, can you share with us how do you balance their personalities with the different companies' DNA?
That's a very good question. That's the most difficult part. Every perfumer has a strong ego, and that's very good to have a strong ego, because when you create, you need at the same time to doubt yourself and be sure also of what you propose. The most difficult part is to try and balance that with the DNA of the different company. And so there's always an interaction between me and them when we discuss, when we talk about a given fragrance, to try and make sure that it fits not only in the DNA of the brand, but also that it's complementary with the other fragrances we already have. It's really a fine-tuning, and once we've done that, the difficult part after that is to say, okay, we reach a point where the fragrance can be launched. When you create something, the easiest is to never stop. You could work on a fragrance for years and years and years. And to say, stop, now it's good, it's also very difficult.
So when you work with your perfumers, have you ever end up with a final product that that is different from your initial plan?
Always.
Always.
Always. You start with an idea or you start with a concept. And of course, this concept echoes in your mind. This concept creates colors or creates visions or smells. But from this starting point to the final product, there is always a difference. And that's good, because it means that the perfumer has brought a lot of things in the mix that we've been able to discuss, and that actually at the end, the final product is something new for everybody.
The perfumery, I must suggest, is made like an art form. So, which art form that you think is most closely to the art of perfumery?
I would say most certainly cuisine is the closest, because up to a certain point, it's really a form of art. You balance everything, the color of the food, of course, what it smells like. The first thing you do before eating anything is you smell it, without even knowing it. The way it's displayed in your plate, which is the way it is displayed in a bottle or on a shelf. And basically, when you eat something, you also smell what you eat at the same moment. When you smell some fragrances, you have this almost feeling of drinking something or eating something, very sensual. And there's a clear connection for me between the two.
I might say that it's really very closely, but for me, it's like perfumery makes me think about art, like the movies, or maybe it's like the music. Yeah, I think it depends on which the perfumers or which the perfume director you think about this. Which art is the most closely?
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah. I fully agree. It also depends on the name of the perfume. Sometimes just looking at a name projects you on a given environment. Sometimes you hear the name of a perfume and you have a color coming to mind or a picture coming to mind. So it touches on a lot of different feelings or different creation form you can have, which, by the way, has been technically proved that smelling something touches on a lot of emotions in your brain and a lot of different spots in your brain.
Regarding the art of perfumery, so which is like your most unique, wildest ideas of you when you want to implement it, but you haven't had a chance to do it?
It was wild. It's getting less wild today because I think that there are some trials out there, but drinking perfume is the wildest thing I would love to be able to do. But when you come to think of it, perfume is what? It's different ingredients mixed with alcohol and water. When you drink wine, it's different ingredients mixed with alcohol and no water. What's the only difference is that one is destined to be drinking and the other one not. So it's mostly cultural, right? But I think there's been a couple of trials on that. It's very difficult to accept today. Let's see what happens in a couple of years. That's going to be, I think, very interesting.
So I'm waiting for your ideas in the future. If we can drink the perfumes. Yeah. Let's talk about your lifestyle. So, if there was a country or a city that you want to live in besides Paris, what would it be?
There's a few. What is important for me is the vibe of the city. Of course, New York has an incredible energy that you feel instantly when you go there and when you live there. Tokyo is absolutely amazing for a French person because of its history, because of anything you could touch upon, the history, the architecture, the food that you can eat, the countryside. These are the two cities I could live easily in, but for the fact that I don't speak Japanese, which would be a big problem for Tokyo, I think. But yeah, I could easily live in these two cities. And in Vietnam, I've been in Hanoi for 1 day, so I just don't know,
As I know about you, like you were a chef, pastry chef. So are these main roles or side roles of you? Have you broadened your artistic thinking or use more ideas to create more profession, more creation?
Well, these are hobbies, really, and it's very relaxing. So it's just like playing golf. When you're, playing golf, there's one thing you think about, this little white ball there, and that's it. And when you cook a cake or pastry or whatever you do, you're just focused on it for hours. But it's true that you smell things and you touch things that could give you ideas for the perfume as well. Ideas on what you like or ideas on what you don't like, because I think that creating something is also deciding not to create something else. It's a positive and a negative choice at the same time. So all these experiences broaden the scope of what you have in mind and what you project. But it's just a part of it, because there's so much and so many different items coming almost like every other day in perfumery that you smell, that I smell on a regular basis with the perfumers, that all of a sudden creates tons of combinations in your mind and different options of creations as well. So yes, it helps.
I will talk about the design of the perfumes bottle from the different company. Mm-hmm. So I was very impressed with the design of this bottle, especially the cap. And many of our KONCEPT customers, they inquired a lot about these design concept of the 3-level bottle cap. So can you share with us and with the audience about this concept?
Yes, sure. When you look at the bottle, it's a rectangular bottle. You take off the cap, I would say it's a normal rectangular bottle. It's nice shape, but it has nothing very specific to it. Yes, the logo is engraved on the back. Yes, we have a specific way of writing things on the front, but still, it's not completely specific. The cap is the absolute signature. And you've noticed that these 3 levels have exactly the right size that it creates a balance when you look at the bottle. It's neither too flat nor too high. And 3 symbolically connects with the notion of perfection. Not that we are perfect, but this is what we're aiming at. When you look at 3 things, when you hear 3 things specifically in French in a sentence, it sounds balanced, it sounds very comforting, it sounds whole. And that is the whole idea about these 3 levels. And if you look at the bottle from above, you just see 1 circle, because these 3 levels are inside within 1 circle, which again is sort of very balanced and very whole. So you have this rectangular shape, top with the 3 round levels, and all of a sudden you feel better just looking at it. So this is the whole idea of the different company at the beginning, is to bring this sense of elegance without pushing too much on it, without shouting out loud that we are elegant. It's just a very, small signature here.
I've talked about the orientation of you for the different company. So in this year, the different company is launching a new perfume creations named the Red Burning Night. Mm-hmm. So can you share with our audience about this creation?
The Red Burning Night is an inspiration we've had with Marion Costero, the perfumer. She's been living in Brazil for a long time, and she also lived in Spain. And we wanted to work around the jasmine, but a regular jasmine is pretty boring. It's interesting in combination with other raw materials, but in itself, it could feel a little bit outdated, right? And there is this very specific jasmine that you could smell at night. And Marion has used her talent to balance the intensity and softness and lightness of this jasmine with a deep, I would say, woody / citrus construction behind it. And it's very intense and very soft at the same time. It's neither outdated nor too contemporary. It's this exact kind of scent that you feel comfortable immediately with the touch of something that tells you this fragrance is different from the others, but not so different that I could not wear it. You know what I mean? You sort of dive into it instantly.
Besides the Red Burning Night launching this year, is there any news plans for the different company, like other perfume creations?
Yes, I can tell you that we will have more perfumes by the end of the year. And as I was mentioning to the team, I don't want to, unveil too much on it, but on one you can think vegetable, and on the other one you can think yellow. Yeah. So if it gives you an idea of what it's gonna smell like, it's fine.
For me, it's like a banana or like a vegetable, like herbs and like that.
You see, I think it's gonna be interesting.
Before we end our interview, I will have a mini challenge for you. This challenge will be based on the quote from the different company, like days gone by, but do not look alike. So in this challenge, you will recommend for our customers, for audience, or which scents that may be suitable for them, like for them to use in the specific occasion, or like to wear to convey something, to express themselves. Uh-huh. The first challenge is which perfumes could be wearable for the perfume newbies, that his or her, this is her first hearing about the brand, about the different company, and they haven't tried any perfume from the different company. A newbie perfume, they really light perfume?
If they like light perfumes, I would go most certainly towards Tokyo Bloom or After Midnight. Why? Because Tokyo Bloom is a light aromatic, but at the same time it is structured around the specific components that is the entrance to the world of the different company and the world of niche. After Midnight is interesting because it starts very fresh, and with the graine d'ambrette you have something stronger at the bottom notes. So fresh and sensual at the same time, but immediately understandable. So I would recommend one of these two.
This will be a perfume for a white collar person that work from 9 to 5.
White collar, 9 to 5, so at the office, right?
Yes.
Man or woman?
I think it could be both.
Could be both. I would go for Osmanthus. This very elegant white flower that comes from south of China, white and yellow. You have the two colors with the Osmanthus. But this one, created by Jean-Claude Ellena, has this incredible elegance and light touch that makes it recognizable, with the small apricot and white leather core on the bottom notes, but at the same time not too strong. So for the office, I think it would be a perfect introduction.
This will be a perfume for the sales ambassador who wants to convey their professionalism to the partners or to the customers visiting their stores.
Sublime Balkis.
Sublime Balkis.
Yeah, definitely, because it's a chypre that is entirely modern, so it doesn't have the ockmoss or the labdanum that you have in traditional chypre, but at the same time at the opening, you have this red berry notes, and the whole construction is completely unique. So whenever you smell Sublime Balkis, you immediately recognize that it's a unique scent, and it projects exactly what the different company is about.
This will be a scent to wear on the hot summer weather in Hanoi, which is a temperature about 35 to 38 degrees Celsius.
Two choices here, either Limon de Cordosa or White Zagora. I think it's either one of these two. Limon de Cordosa, that's the mojito, pepper on top, mint. You sit it by the pool and you smell the mojito, that's the Limon de Cordosa. Very, very, very fresh, very zesty. By the way, bergamot could be an amazing fragrance for that as well, but I'd go for this one. And White Zagora is this, the orange flower, that's the oasis in the desert. It brings you freshness at the same time. So these two might be very interesting. By the way, you can layer them, and that's an interesting outcome.
Especially for White Zagora, many of my friends or my customers, they thought that this White Zagora, they have a tea note in it. I don't know is this a hidden note or something, but I guess everyone will have the feelings about this note.
That's hidden. There's no specific tea notes in it. It's just based on the construction of the fragrance that we have this feeling of tea inside.
Yes. This might be the final question, the final challenge. This will be a perfume to wear in a rainy day in Saigon, which is the temperature about 25 to 27 degrees Celsius.
I would go for something stronger, counterintuitively, I would say. Une Nuit Magnétique might be very interesting because it has this double path. You start ginger, go on to the floral notes, end up on the ambery notes, but you also have the path of berries and going on to a prune extract at the hot notes and ending on the same ambery notes. So this one develops remarkably in this kind of rainy description that you've given. At the same time, totally unisex, very upscale, but strong enough to be really felt under that type of weather.
Our customers will have this recommendation from you as the most valuable recommendation for them to wear perfumes of a different company. I guess this is our end of the interview. I really appreciate you for spending a precious time with us today. And I would say wishing a different company prosperity and happiness.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.
And I wish you a wonderful trip in Hanoi.